Good afternoon, sir. I am Jefferson Balaba, BSMT, Section S1I. In this video, I am going to read and understand the IBC code, BCH code, and IMDG code. IBC code, Carriage of Chemicals in Bulk, is coverage by regulations in SOLAS, Chapter 7, Carriage of Dangerous Goods and MARPOL, Annex 2. Regulations for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances in bulk. Both conventions require chemical tankers built after 1 July 1986 to comply with the International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk, or IBC code. The IBC code provides an international standard for the safe carriage in bulk by sea of dangerous chemicals and noxious liquid substances listed in Chapter 17 of the code to minimize the risk to ships, their crews, and the environment. The code prescribes the design and construction standards of ships and the equipment they should carry. With due regard to the nature of the products involved, in December 1987, by Resolution MEPC 1922, the code was extended to cover marine pollution aspects and applies to ships built after 1 July 1986. In October 2004, IMO adopted revised MARPOL Annex 2 regulations for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances in bulk. This incorporates a four-category categorization system for noxious and liquid substances, and it entered into force on 1 January 2007. Second, consequential amendments to the International Bulk Chemical Code, or IBC code, were also adopted in October 2004, reflecting the changes to MARPOL Annex 2. The amendments incorporate revisions to the categorization of certain products relating to their properties as potential marine pollutants, as well as revision to ship type and carriage requirements following their evaluation by the Evaluation of Hazardous Substances Working Group. Ships subject to the code shall be designed to one of the following standards. 1. A Type 1 ship is a chemical tanker intended to transport Chapter 17 products with very severe environmental and safety hazard which require maximum preventive measure to preclude an escape of such cargo. 2. A Type 2 ship is a chemical tanker intended to transport Chapter 17 products with appreciably severe environmental and safety hazards, which require significant preventive measure to preclude an escape of such cargo. 3. A Type 3 ship is a chemical tanker intended to transport Chapter 17 product with sufficiently severe environmental and safety hazards which require a moderate degree of containment to increase survival capability in a damaged condition. Thus, a Type 1 ship is a chemical tanker intended for the transportation of products considered to present the greatest overall hazard, and Type 2 and Type 3 for products of progressively lesser hazards. Accordingly, a Type 1 ship shall survive the most severe standard of damage, and its cargo tanks shall be located at the maximum prescribed distance inboard from the shell plating. Second, code for the construction equipment of ships carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk, or BCH code. Under Regulation 11 of Annex 2 to MARPOL 73-78, chemical tankers constructed before 1 July 1986 must comply with the requirements of the Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk, or BCH code. The predecessor of the IBC code, the BCH code remains as recommendation under the 1974 SOLAS Convention. 3. the International Maritime Dangerous Goods or IMDG Code. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea 1974, SOLAS as amended, deals with various aspects of maritime safety and contains in Chapter 7 the mandatory provisions governing the carriage of dangerous goods in package form. The carriage of dangerous goods in package form shall comply with the relevant provisions of the International Maritime Dangerous Goods or IMDG Code, which is considered an extension to the provisions of SOLAS Chapter 7. Furthermore, the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships 1973 as modified by the Protocol of 1978 relating to MARPOL, which contains in its Annex 3 mandatory provisions for the prevention of pollution by harmful substances carried by sea in package form, prohibits the carriage of harmful substances in ships except in accordance with the provision of MARPOL Annex 3, which are also extended in MDG Code. The MDG Code was developed as an international code for the maritime transport of dangerous goods in package form in order to enhance and harmonize the safe carriage of dangerous goods and to prevent pollution to the environment. The code sets out in detail the requirements applicable to each individual substance, material, or article, covering matters such as packing, container traffic, and stowage, which particular reference to the segregation of incompatible substances. The code was initially adopted in 1965 as a recommendatory instrument. It was in 2002 that the General Assembly at its 17th session adopted by Resolution A 1617 the IMDG Code. They decided to give it a mandatory status under the umbrella of SOLAS Convention from January 1, 2004. However, some parts of the code remain recommendatory. Paragraph 1.118 or notification of infringements. 2. Paragraphs 1.3.1 to 1.3.1.7 or training. 3. Chapter 1.4 or security prevention expect 1.4.1.1 which is mandatory. Section 2.1.0 of chapter 2.1 or class 1 explosives introductory notes. 2. Section 2.3.3 of chapter 2.3 determination of flashpoint, columns 15 and 17 of the dangerous goods list in chapter 3.2, the segregation flow chart and example in the annex to chapter 7.2. Section 5.4.5 of chapter 5.4 or multimodal dangerous goods form insofar as the layout of the form is concerned. Chapter 7.8 special requirements in the event of an incident and fire crucial involving dangerous goods. Section 7.93 or contact information for the main designation national competent authorities. Appendix B. Since its introduction in 1965, the IMDG Code has undergone many changes, both in appearance and content, to keep pace with the ever-changing needs of industry. Amendments which do not affect the principles upon which the code is based may be adopted by the Maritime Safety Committee alone. Thus, IMO can respond to transport developments in reasonable time. Amendments to the IMDG Code are made by A&T Group on a 2-year cycle. These are mainly originated from 2 sources: proposals submitted directly to IMO by member governments and amendments required to take account of changes to the United Nations recommendation on the transport of dangerous goods, which sets the basic requirements for all the transport modes. That's all, sir. Thank you.